Hi, grade sixes. So I'm going to run through your final project for our trees and forest unit. So the title of this project is called Creating the Ideal Forest. So let's go through the task portion right here. You have been chosen for a competition to design a model forest for the Alberta government. So many different grade 6 students have been chosen. It is up to you to create the best model forest that shows how different living and non-living things interact in a forest ecosystem, as well as shows how humans can positively and negatively interact with a forest. Whatever way you design your forest, you must try to consider, protect, and please all interest groups. You will need to create a proposal that includes a map and a paragraph that explains the reasoning behind your forest design. So very exciting, grade sixes. You're designing your own forest and you are going to be creating a paragraph that explains why your forest is the best. So let's go through. We were talking about that you need to consider, protect, and please all interest groups in the forest. So let's go through the people that you need to consider and things. So the first one is recreation users. The second one is manufacturers. And the third group is environmentalists, all groups that use the forest in different ways. So let's see what the recreation users are saying. So they're saying, I want to be able to enjoy my local forest, having activities available such as camping, hiking, and fishing are activities available such as camping, hiking, and fishing are important. So one group that you're going to need to consider is recreation users and that they can effectively use your forest. The next one is manufacturers. So these are the people that take resources from the forest and produce different products to sell on a large scale, like paper, pencils, lumber, and so on. So let's see what they need. So they say, I need to be able to harvest trees. Remember, harvest means cut down and take away for my business. People need paper, pencils, lumber, and so on. I also need to make sure that I have roads to get the lumber in and out of the forest. So when you're designing your forest, grade sixes, people need to be able to harvest trees to make money. And we also have to make sure those manufacturers actually have a road to get to the place that they're cutting down trees. And then finally, environmentalists or naturalists. So let's see what they want and desire. So they are saying, I hope that the forest design ensures that wildlife and their habitats are harmed as little as possible. We have to be mindful that our choices will impact our consumers, decomposers, producers, and overall forest ecosystem. So obviously the environmentalists are looking out for the best needs of the forest ecosystem and the wildlife in it. So you need to consider that when you are designing your forest. Let's go through the things that you are going to need to include. So first, you are going to need to include in your proposal is one or more forms of recreation. So whether that be hiking, camping, or fishing, so something for those recreation users. You need to include a way for manufacturers to harvest enough trees to produce products like paper or pencils. So that could be either strip cutting or clear cutting, okay? And you also have to include some safe solutions that ensure the living things in the forest ecosystem are protected as much as possible. So some of those things that you need to consider protecting would be things like the trees, wildlife, decomposers, all producers and consumers. You need to consider the effect and impact of the nutrient and oxygen cycles. And you also need to consider the levels of the forest and how different changes or different things that you add into your forest that might affect different levels. And then, of course, you need to also have a map key and a title. All right, so that needs to be part of your forest design. Now, along with a map, grade sixes, you are going to write what's called a proposal, and that's going to be in paragraph form. So this is something the Alberta government would read to get a better understanding of your forest design and map.